Guys, the lighting situation that I have going on is not ideal right now, but we're gonna roll with it. It's the end of the year. It's December 27th, which is so crazy. I look crazy. My lips are chapped. I haven't done my eyebrows in months. My hair is looking like a oil slick because I literally slicked it down with oil. So I saw on TikTok, the amount of times that I've said this before, but I saw on TikTok these videos of like people oiling their scalp for like hair shine, scalp health, like stuff like that. So I decided that I'm gonna try it. So today's the first day that I try it. I decided, well, I work from home, so might as well, you know, oil my scalp while I'm here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try it out maybe this year if I like it. But anyways, guys, today we're doing a Q&A, end of the year Q&A. Not necessarily end of the year related, but we're doing a Q&A today and it's the end of the year. So I also decided that while I do this Q&A, I'm going to be doing this gingerbread house. Let me show you guys, so that you guys are not just staring at me this entire time with nothing else but me to look at. Here we go. This is the gingerbread house. By the way, I've had this gingerbread house since last Christmas. Since last Christmas, I've had this gingerbread house and I'm doing it this Christmas because I got it in January at Sam's Club when they were doing like the clearance on Christmas, and I got like 3 of them. I did one actually last year with my boys, like in January, and then one got crushed in our car, and then this is the last one remaining. So I'm gonna do it right now. I was gonna do it with my boys, but the reason I didn't end up doing it with my boys is because I only have one and they will literally fight over it. So you guys are gonna see a little bit of my face, more so the gingerbread house, and I'll just be answering questions. But let me go get the stuff to decorate everything with. All right, we'll start with the new year. As we're approaching the new year, we'll start with a question related to new year. The first question is, what do you miss about being younger? So I am now 30, I'm in my 30s, and what I miss about being younger. Ooh, okay, pop this. Okay, what do I miss about being younger? I think the thing that I miss the most about being younger is the lack of responsibility. Obviously now that I'm in my 30s, I'm married, I have 2 children, I have a job, I pay rent. There's just a lot of responsibilities, and honestly, like when you're younger, I miss that part of life where, like, you know, you could wake up at whatever time you wanted. You didn't have to wake up at any certain time, unless you're like my husband. My husband has been working since he was like 12 years old. My mom was one of those people too, just because I think in Latino American countries, that's the custom because of the lack of money. They have to work from a young age. But I grew up here in the US and I was blessed enough to not have to work until after I graduated university. And so I do miss so much about being younger is the lack of responsibility, not having to do anything, just waking up at whatever time. Going back to that, I do miss also not having, like, same thing with responsibilities, but not having to do certain things like my taxes or just certain things. Like, we were talking about this on Christmas because we were talking about like Christmas bonuses, and I don't know if you guys know, but Christmas bonuses, or bonuses in general, get taxed at a higher rate than your normal like paycheck does. And so I got a Christmas bonus, and like the tax on my Christmas bonus was almost 50%, like, of the Christmas bonus, which is insane to me, because at that point, like, why even do a Christmas bonus? Not that I'm not grateful for my Christmas bonus. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but gosh, these are so hard to do. I don't understand why it's so hard to squish out. I don't know if I need to cut it more. But I feel like I'm gonna get arthritis from how hard I'm pushing this. But okay, anyways, not that I'm ungrateful for like my Christmas bonus, but just the fact that they tax so high, like almost 50%, isn't. And dude, okay, we're gonna change these because they keep falling. I think they're just too big and also like weirdly shaped. Like they're supposed to be gumdrops, I believe, but these gumdrops, I think because they're so old, they look crazy. So we're gonna use another candy. What candy should we use? I'm gonna use these that are like little lights. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, this next question is, do you have any hidden talents? Do I have any hidden talents? That's so interesting. I feel like I don't. I'm not talented. I'm not artistic, as you can tell by this video. I feel like I'm a pretty good singer, but I don't think that's a hidden talent because the people in my life know that I can sing decently. So I wouldn't say it's a hidden talent. So I'm trying to think, like, do I have any hidden talents? I don't think I have any talents, guys. I feel like I'm not a talented individual. I feel like there's certain people who are artistic. Oh man, it opened a hole on the side. I think that's why it's not coming out the way it's supposed to come out. Okay. I don't know what is your favorite dessert is the next question. My favorite dessert, I would say my favorite dessert is chocolate. Anything chocolate, like, I love. It has a hole at the top now, and it's all coming out from there instead of the tip. So it's very hard to decorate. So, you know what? I'm going to just spread it on the roof. This is going terrible. So this is turning out terrible, but I'm just gonna spread it on the. Let me try to show you guys so you guys can see the disaster that is happening right here. I'm gonna try to spread it all over this roof, and I could get a knife, but I'm too lazy, so we're just gonna do it with this thing that came with it. What was I saying? Okay, so I think that's what I miss the most about being young. I just miss the lack of responsibility and being able to, you know, pick up wherever I want. One thing with having kids is that when you want to leave the house, it takes forever. There's certain times that I just don't want to do certain things because I'm like, it's just going to take forever with the kids. So I'd rather just not do it to not stress myself. Gosh, this is terrible. I feel like we got a good layer on there, so I'm going to start decorating. I think I'm going to use these gingerbreads. So I would say that, let me show you guys. I would say that, anything chocolate would be my favorite dessert, but specifically, I think I would say brownies. I love brownies. Like, I love a good chocolate brownie. So maybe that would be my favorite. Because I can't think of anything else that I like more than I like brownies. So let's go with chocolate brownies. And I like, excuse me for using this word, but I love moist brownies. So I would say a good moist brownie, but I also do like the dry kind of brownies, if that makes sense. Like a crunchy brownie, I also like that. I licked some of this frosting off my fingers and my stomach is hurting because, again, this is like a year old. So I definitely shouldn't have done that. Also, I don't have another gingerbread. Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna replicate this on the other side, but this is what it's looking like so far, guys. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, the next question. Do you like coffee or tea? I would say neither. Like, I don't like hot drinks in general. Like, I kind of get hot drinks during this season just because everybody else is getting them and I don't want to feel left out, which is dumb to say, but it's true. I don't like hot drinks. I am a person who sweats profusely and I run extremely hot. So just in general, even like soup and stuff like that, like it's not for me. I don't like anything that will make me more hot since I already at all times am sweating and hot. Like right now it's cold here, thank God, because I wish that I could live in like Alaska, Russia. I don't know where else it's cold. Those are the two places that came to mind. But I wish that I could live somewhere where there was cold weather year round, because I would thrive in that weather. I would thrive in that weather. Right now it's cold, California cold at least, because I live in California. And it's cold. It's, I don't know, like 63 degrees. And that's cold for here. And I love it. I would love it to be like this year round or every day. And I would love it to even be colder. I would love to have weather that's snowing all the time or raining. So to answer the question, I don't like either or. But I guess if I had to choose one, I guess I would go with coffee, because although I don't like coffee, I do love a latte, which is mainly milk. My dad, who is an avid coffee drinker, always says that I don't drink coffee. It's actually like a latte is just what they call in Spanish leche con café, and I do love leche con café. So I would say coffee, because tea is just hot water with flavor, and that's weird. No offense to you tea drinkers, and I'm sure it's healthier. But like I said, I don't even drink either or, so I'm just choosing one for the sake of answering this question. I'm just choosing one for the sake of answering this question. It says, what is the most trouble you've ever been in? Okay, so here's a little story time for you guys. When I was gonna say in high school, but I was not in high school anymore, actually. This was the year right after I graduated high school. So when I had recently graduated high school, I went through a phase where I kind of felt alone in life. I felt like everybody from high school had moved on. They were either like dorming at university or working. And I was in community college. I got stuck going to community college. I got accepted into university, and my parents didn't want me to dorm. I didn't drive, and my university was many miles away. Like in car, it was about an hour away. So it was not feasible for me to get to university it was not feasible for me to get to university by train or bus. So I'm gonna do them opposite since it was just way too far. So I had to drop out of my university and go to community college. I was very unhappy with the fact that I had to go to community college. I wanted to be in university with like the rest of my friends. But anyways, during that time, like I lost a lot of my friends from high school because they were all in university, dorming, living the university life. And so I was back in my hometown, And I remember posting on Facebook that I was extremely bored at home and had nothing to do. So this girl that I didn't know her personally, but we were like mutual friends. Would this look good? What do you guys think? Would this look great? Am I gonna ruin this? Let's leave it. Let's leave it. This, you know what I can do? I just thought about it. And I'm gonna try it. But let me try to get using this as a spatula. This girl, she messaged me after I posted that, asking me if I wanted to go to a party. And I was like, sure, why not? So I started hanging out with her, and we started going to a lot of parties, as you know, 18-year-olds do. And so I started going to a lot of parties, and we would hang out all the time, like only partying. Like, we were not friends outside of like partying together. And it turned out that she also went to the same community college that I went to. So it ended up working out, us hanging out together. We ended up hanging out inside of, you know what guys, I think it looks good, but I don't have some for the other side, so I didn't think this through. What if I take some out? And do like that, like 4, and then I can do the other side, because I think I have 3 for the other side. Yeah, I started hanging out with her, and we started going to a lot of parties. And this one time, she didn't drive, so she would have like mutual friends of hers or guys that she met at parties pick us up to go to these parties. And so this one time, she was actually not there, but I started hanging out with other friends of hers. And this one time, one of the guys was 21 years old. At this time, I'm like 18 years old. And so one of the guys had bought beer, or I don't know what it was. I'm going to say it's beer. I don't remember. But it was alcohol. Point is that it was alcohol. So he had bought alcohol. And the rest of the people in the car were all like 18, 19 years old. And so they had just picked me up, and we were heading to, I don't know if it was his house or his brother's house. Again, this was many, many moons ago. And the police passed by, and he was like, oh, they're for sure gonna stop us, because I don't know, it's like 1 a.m. at this time. And they did in fact stop us. And I was so nervous because I did not have permission to be out at this time. I did not have permission to be partying. I would sneak out of my house to go partying. And the police did stop us. So I started freaking out. And I remember they told, when the police came, they they're like flashing the car with their flashlights, like checking if anybody's drunk. They start searching the car. They tell us to get out. They start searching the car. They start questioning us. And out of everybody there, I'm the most nervous. And I'm not nervous because I'm guilty of anything. I'm nervous because I snuck out of my house. And my fear was that they were going to go drop me off at home, and that I was going to get in trouble with my dad for being out, for being out when I was not supposed to be out. So that was my fear. It was not so much that I was doing anything, because I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything. I was just there. Some of the other people, but everybody else in that car was under the influence. Either they had been smoking or they had been drinking, but they were under the influence. So I, being 18 years old, the police are asking me questions, asking me why do I look so guilty. And my friends kept telling me to relax because I look like I'm guilty of something. And I just told the police, I was like, I'm just nervous. So the police were like, well, why are you nervous if you haven't done anything? And like, I'm making it bad for us because it's true. Like, I look so guilty, but I was just nervous because, again, my parents didn't know that I was out. And I'm 18 and I literally felt like if my dad found out that I was out, basically, my life would be over. I would not be here right now. I would have been, my parents would have moved me to El Salvador. And I would have never seen the light of day again. So I was just really nervous because of that. And like everybody else that was there, they had permission to be out. Like their parents didn't care. But I was just really nervous. So they ended up checking the car, asking us a bunch of questions. They ended up sitting us on the curb. And to this day, like, I think about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I put myself in these situations? Like, yeah, after that, they ended up telling me to drive because everybody there was under the influence of some kind. And I was the only one that was sober, as I usually was. Because I was not like a big... Well, I never smoked. And still have not smoked to this day. And I did drink, but I very rarely drank, especially if I didn't know how I was gonna get home. I wasn't drinking. If I didn't know who the people were that were like driving me around, if I knew that the people were not sober, then I was never drinking because I always was like, no, I'm gonna get home and I have to be sober to do so. So the police told me to drive, which is crazy because I had no license. I had no permit. I didn't know how to drive. But they told me, you're the only one who's sober, so go drive everybody home. And they confiscated the liquor because even though the guy who bought it was 21, we were all underage. Everybody but him. And I think there was like 3 other people in the car. So it was like the driver and then like me and 2 other people. And we were all underage. So they took the alcohol and they told me to drive. And I literally told the police, I don't know how to drive. And they said, I think they asked the guy, like, where do you guys live? And he said down the street. And the police looked it up. Like, they ID'd him. And they were like, well, it's just down the street. So just go drive straight. Which to me, to this day, is insane. I got a text and I was confused by the contents of that text. But I still find it crazy, going back to my story, that the police, knowing that I did not know how to drive, asked me to drive. I think they were like, well, we'd rather have this girl drive even because she's not intoxicated, even if she doesn't know how to drive. But to me, that's crazy. I think it's crazy to ask little old me to drive, considering I had no license. Like, they just were like, yeah, between these drunk people or high people, she's the best option. Insane to me to think that is the mindset that they had, and they made me drive. So I drove everybody home that day. Not everybody home. I'm lying. I didn't drive everybody home. I drove everybody to that guy's house. And thank God we got there safe. And also, thank God they didn't call my parents, because had they called my parents, I would have been in copious amounts of trouble. Like I said, I would not be here right now. I would still be in El Salvador, because I guarantee you my parents would have sent me away. They would have been like, this child is a problem, and they would have sent me away. and they would have been correct to do so. At that time, I probably would have thought they were unfair, but thinking about it now as a parent, I put myself in I put myself in such dangerous situations for no reason other than that I wanted to be out partying, which now I'm like, oh, I hope my children are much wiser than I am. And also I will have open means of communication with my children, because I don't want them sneaking out of the house, because I'd rather know where my children are than have them sneak out of the house and put themselves in situations where they could be in danger. But anyways, I would say that's the most trouble I got in, just because I've never been involved in like situations where the police are like making you sit on a curb, telling you to be quiet, if not they're gonna handcuff you. Crazy. Moving on to the next question. What is your dream travel destination? So this is what the house is looking like so far, guys. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible either. I would say, if I do say so myself. That reminds me of that song, If I Do Say So Myself. I don't know who sings it. Was it Chris Brown? I'm old. I'm a millennial, in case you can't tell. But what is, I forgot what the question was. I think it was like, what's your dream travel destination? My dream travel destination is Germany. I want to go to Germany so bad. So when I was in community college, going back to community college, I took German 101. I actually took German 101, Intro to German, and I took, what is the second level? I think it was like, I took beginner's German, and then I took conversational German, which was like the next level of German. And I took German because I didn't want to take Spanish, since I am a native Spanish speaker. I didn't want to take French. Oh, French was full. I didn't want to take any like Asian languages, because I just feel like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, just hearing those languages, they seem like such hard languages to learn, and I didn't want to get a bad grade. Like, I wasn't gonna take a foreign language and get a bad grade. Like, I didn't want that. Like, I wanted to get an A. So I chose German, which was the next available option for me. Sorry guys, I'm trying to, if you guys can't see, I almost dropped the house, but I'm trying to stick this on there so that I can stick the little bolitas. I don't know what they call. But I took German, and so because I took German, I've always wanted to go to Germany, just because when you take a foreign language, I don't know if you guys know that, but for those who take foreign languages in university, you don't just learn the language, but you learn about the culture. And so after taking German, I fell in love with German culture and like the landscape, like everything that there is to do with Germany. Like, I just fell in love with it. Do I remember the German language? Not all of it, but I think I can remember enough to like be able to say hello, be able to say I'm lost, be able to say, could you give me directions? Now, when they respond to me, will I be able to understand them? Probably not. I would probably not be able to understand if someone spoke back to me in German, just because it's spoken so fast that it would get lost in translation. But even though I wouldn't be able to understand, I would still love to visit. Still seems like such a beautiful place, and still a dream of mine to one day go to Germany, and hopefully one day I can go. Do you like scary movies? No. I am a chicken, and everything and anything scares me. I'm scared of the dark. Like I said, I'm scared of almost everything and anything. So scary movies to me is a hard pass. A hard pass. Like, hard no. I do not like scary movies. I've gone now twice to Universal Studios Horror Nights. And the reason that I go is because my job, my boss, he loves Universal Studios Horror Nights. So he gives us free tickets to go. And I didn't go the first 2 years that I was there because I was like, I don't like anything scary. And that sounds like a nightmare because I had been one time and I kid you not, the entire time that I was there, my eyes were closed like so tightly. And I took my husband, who was then at that time my boyfriend, and I held on to him for dear life while we went through the mazes with our friends. And so I told myself then that I would never go back. However, this year I decided to actually make use of the free tickets that my boss gives us. And I went with one of my friends. And I feel like I was braver this time because I was holding on to her instead of my husband. I feel like I kind of had to be braver. And I couldn't hold on to her the way that I held on to my boyfriend / husband now. So I had my eyes open and I put on a brave face and I tried to pretend that I wasn't scared, when in fact I was terrified. But I feel like overall it was, would I do it again? Probably just for the rides, because I got to get on the Simpsons and the Harry Potter ride and it was like free, you know. But now I have my pass, so actually no, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't go again this year because I have a Universal Studios pass now. So I feel like there's no point in me doing it. Guys, I feel like I'm not gonna decorate the entire house. I'm gonna leave it at one more question, and whatever we do with one more question, because I feel like this video is getting extremely long. So let's see, we're gonna make it a good one. What is the last film that you've watched? That's kind of not a good one, but I want to answer it. So the last, well actually technically the last film that I watched was Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which when I was a child, goodness, I don't know what to clean my hands with, but when I was a child, I was not into Super Mario Brothers. I was not into Zelda. Again, I'm aging myself. I was into Sonic the Hedgehog. So when these movies came out, naturally I was curious about them. But I feel like they're kind of underwhelming. And again, they're made for like children, so maybe that's also why. But I had higher hopes for them as a Sonic fan. And they just weren't great. But now that I have kids and I have 2 boys, my oldest son, the 3-year-old, he is into Sonic, so he wanted to watch it. So we took him to see it, and it was okay. It was okay. Like, I just feel like the movies are a little underwhelming. But prior to that, the last movie that I saw was Wicked, and that movie I loved. Because I like singing, I am a die-hard Broadway enthusiast. I am a die-hard musical fan. So I love Wicked with the original, like with Idina Menzel as Elphaba. I love it. And so when this version came out, you know, people were skeptical because it's Ariana Grande. You know, some people love to hate her. But I actually am an Ariana Grande fan as well. So when this came out, I was very excited because, you know, I like Ariana Grande. And I think she did an amazing job. I think her and Cynthia, I can't remember her last name right now, but I think they did an amazing job, and I really, really enjoyed the movie. And I'm actually gonna go this Sunday to see the sing-along version, I'm actually gonna go see the movie again this Sunday, just that I'm gonna go see a sing-along version of this movie. So I'm gonna go and sing with all my fellow Wicked enthusiasts. What the heck just fell? I'm not sure what fell there, but something fell. But look, this is what it's looking like right now. And I'm gonna wash my hand. Actually, dude, I hate that this frosting didn't end up working. I'm telling you, I feel like they want me to fail. They want me to have an ugly house. They want to troll me. But anyways, so I'm gonna go on Sunday, like I was telling you guys. Look at this. It's just like a big blob of frosting, but it's okay. It's okay. This is gonna go to the trash anyway, so it's fine. Whew. Okay, I gotta pick up all these candies before my kids get back from my mom's house. Okay, so I'm gonna go see Wicked in the sing-along version this Sunday, and I'm super excited. I've actually been practicing the end of Defying Gravity, and if you know, you know. So we'll see how it turns out. I am gonna be vlogging that day as well, so I'll probably show you guys clips of that, of me trying to sing terribly that day. But anyways, this is my house. It looks ugly, but I was sabotaged with the frosting. Here's what it looks like. So thank you for hanging out with me. This was kind of chaotic and all over the place, but thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I will be doing one more vlog for this year, which is what I told you guys, the Sunday sing-along Wicked version. Gonna go with some friends. It should be super fun. And that will be the last video of the year. So if you don't watch that one, Happy New Year's, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing year. Thanks for hanging out with me. I kind of went MIA on this channel just because I got busy with life. But I do plan on returning this upcoming year. So I can't wait to see you guys for many, many more videos this year, because I have my Universal Studios pass and I have my Disneyland pass. So we will be doing a lot of theme parks this year. But anyways, that's it, guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.